right. Hi, first grade friends. It's Mrs. Davis here with our writing lesson for today. Today is Wednesday, November 11th. Veterans Day, right? All right. I have two goals for my writing today and two goals that I would like for you to set for yourself in your writing today. So if you remember, we are working on either a fairy tale or a small moment story. Either one, your choice. If you're writing a fairy tale like Miss Davis, I'm going to add a second goal of adding storytelling phrases. If you're writing a small moment, you won't need to worry about this goal. You can just focus on adding dialogue like we've talked about before. But if you're writing a fairy tale like Miss Davis's, there are some storytelling phrases that we see in our fairy tales that I would like for you to try to include in your writing today. The first being once upon a time. When we are reading a fairy tale, we'll often hear once upon a time as the very first words that we hear in a fairy tale. And then at the end of our story, once you have finished your whole story, don't forget to add the phrase, and they lived happily ever after. We often will see that at the end of a fairy tale. So I'm going to remind myself of that again later when I'm getting to the end of my story. So far, I have worked on planning my story, my fairy tale that I've been working on, using my mentor text of Once Upon a Time, writing your own fairy tale to help guide me along the way. And I've come up with my characters, my setting, and then I planned out my plot, beginning, middle, and end. We said in our story, we wanted to make sure that we had characters and setting, beginning, middle, and end. So make sure you have those. Remember, that can be for a fairy tale or for a small moment story. So thinking about my goals for today, add dialogue and add storytelling phrases. So I sketched out my first page. I put my character, the brave young girl, and I've added another character, her mom, her mother. I've included my setting at the beginning of my story. We see the young girl's house. And then here in the distance, this is the deep, dark forest. All right, so remember Miss Davis set a goal to use those storytelling phrases. So here it is. Ready? Once upon a time. There's a storytelling phrase that should tell my reader I'm writing a fairy tale. Once upon a time, there was a brave little girl named Penny. One day, Penny's mother said, here's where Miss Davis included some dialogue. Go get your little brother. It's time for dinner. Yes, Mother, said Penny. Oh, Miss Davis has her characters talking to each other. And off she went into the deep, dark forest. So Miss Davis has included dialogue in her writing. I have Penny's words and her mother's words. I also might want to include, I do have some space up here, some dialogue in my picture. So her mother said, go get your little brother. It's time for dinner. That's a little long to squeeze into my picture, but I could put, Penny says, yes, Mother. Remember Miss Davis's trick, write the words first. And then make your bubble around. So Miss Davis has met her goal. I have my fairy tale storytelling phrase and dialogue. So as I continue working on my story, moving into the middle of my story, this is where I'm going to be introducing my problem. So if you have not filled out your problem on your storytelling planning page, that might be something you want to go ahead and do today as well. Miss Davis kind of talked about the problem in the middle of my story as well. I said the girl finds her brother trapped in the cave of a big bad dragon. That's my problem in my story. So as I move on to the middle of my story, where I present the problem, I still want to make sure that I'm doing those things that good writers do. So I have done my touch and tell, planning out my story. I've made a sketch, not on this page, but you'll see it in a minute. I've made a sketch of what happens in the middle of my story, and then I want to still try and include some dialogue today. All right, so here's my middle of my story. Now you can see my sketch I made of Penny, the dragon who's sleeping with flames coming from his nostrils, and Penny's little brother trapped. Oh no! So let's read my middle of my story and see if Miss Davis can get some dialogue added into the middle of my story. As Penny walked into the forest, she heard a great loud rumbling sound coming from a big dark cave. She looked inside and saw her brother trapped in a cage above a huge sleeping dragon. What do you think my character Penny might say at this moment? What words might she say when she sees her brother? I thought about this. In my picture, I included the words, "Oh dear." So now in my text, using my quotation marks to say when our character is talking, "Oh dear." I'm going to include an exclamation mark because she has a lot of emotion and feeling right now. And instead of just saying, "Oh dear," Penny said, I'm going to use another word. Instead of said, when a character is upset, they might cry. "Oh dear," Penny cried. Not like she cried tears, but she cried like she cried out. "Oh dear," Penny cried. And then her brother, he's going to answer her and say, "Help, Penny." Using my quotation marks again, because now her brother's talking. "Help, Penny." Her brother called. Oh, there's another word. Instead of said, called. So Miss Davis now has included some dialogue in my text and in my picture. All right, friends, I hope you're doing a great job working on your story, including a problem. Miss Davis's character has a big problem. I hope she's able to come up with a good way to solve it. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.